Hey, this is Ian from EssentialTennis.com, and I'd like to welcome you to video 1 of 3 in which I'm going to be focusing on making you a better serve and volleyer. You can still use serve and volley, even in 2012, as an effective strategy to make your way up to the net in either singles or doubles and pressure your opponents. Really, especially in doubles, but you can absolutely still use it in singles as well. And we're going to be using a clip, a quick 11-second clip, and breaking it down piece by piece to learn from one of the best serve and volleyers in the world, and that is Nedad Zimonjić. He's a doubles specialist, and he's won 44 titles on the ATP Tour. He's been #1 in the world. He has multiple Grand Slam titles. Let me go ahead and show you that clip right now, and we'll see him make a serve and volley. He's actually practicing with Djokovic here. This is in Cincinnati. He's going to serve and volley, move in, and this is the clip we're going to use to learn 3 essential truths for serve and volley. And the one we're going to focus on today is that initial move towards the net. So we'll see him make his setup here for his serve. And he's got a beautiful service motion, by the way. See him go into his trophy pose right here. Make sure to go through my free serve course, by the way, if you want to learn how to be able to hit a serve more like this. Excellent trophy pose, racket drop. Here's contact, and this is where we're going to start focusing on how to get into the net as effectively as possible for serve and volley. This is just a split second past contact, and I want you to notice if I were to draw a line straight down into the court, that line would probably be a good 4 or 5 feet inside the baseline. So that means that Zimonjić is making a nice aggressive lean into the court as he makes contact. That's significant because we're going to be serving and volleying. We want to move forwards. And very, very often I see recreational players make contact directly over the baseline, which means that their body's momentum is not being naturally led towards the net. Look at the difference between directly over the baseline and where he's making contact. So that's key number 1. And the second part I want to point out is how he moves from there. And I love this position right here. If we were to take the racket out of his hand, he looks like any kind of athlete in any sport, just making an aggressive sprint forwards. I mean, he could just be a runner here, mid-stride, starting to make his move forwards. And I just love this athletic position here. And that's the first thing he does after making contact, is he gets in that balanced, athletic position to make his first full stride forwards towards the net. So if you can start to work on these 2 things, contact well in front of the baseline and landing on your front foot in balance, so that you can then make your next step, your next stride forwards in control and in balance and aggressively forwards, you'll not only have more control as you move towards the net, but you'll get much further before contact is made by the player who's returning your serve. Now, don't worry, if you're not the type of player that has a big serve that launches up into the air like what Zimonjić is demonstrating here, it's not a huge deal. You can still do this without that big aggressive push off the court. So if you don't jump off the court, that's fine, but you should still be making contact well in front. And by the way, if you're not as tall as Zimonjić and if you're not pushing off the court, don't try to make contact 5 feet inside the baseline. That'll be too far for you. Maybe a foot or even just 2 feet inside the baseline will be enough to get your balance leaning forwards and naturally leading you towards the net. So experiment with it, but no matter what level you are and no matter how big and powerful your serve is, let me submit to you that directly over the baseline is not going to cut it when it comes to serve and volley. It's not going to naturally lead you forwards. Whether you jump off the court or not, it doesn't make any difference. You should be at least a little bit inside the baseline in order to really make this transition as quick and seamless as possible. So again, today's lessons are that contact point and then the balanced, aggressive push forwards towards the net. I'll go ahead and play through the rest of this sequence. And I want you to guess what the next video is going to focus on. That's This is key number one to being able to serve and volley effectively. Key number two is going to be another element that's extremely important to being successful transitioning from a serve up to the net and doing it in balance, in control, and consistently so that you're actually giving yourself the best possible chance to win points. So tell me in the comments down below what you think the next key is going to be. And also you can leave in the comments below any questions or comments that you might have about anything that I just talked about in today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and watch for that next video in this 3-part series all about being successful at serve and volley tennis. Want to serve more like the pros? Find out how as I compare Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic during my free 5-video course. Get it now at freeservecourse.com. That's freeservecourse.com.